Okay, of course I'm starting the day with my cauliflower oats, but I bougied it up and put clementine orange slices on it, and then I just topped it with some of these organic dried goji berries that I got at H Mart last week. I love these so much. And I sprinkled some shelled hemp seeds on top for a little added extra. And this is the plant-based protein that I got at Kroger this past week that was on sale. Update, it is pretty good. The Purely Inspired, it was on sale. And it's vanilla flavored, pea protein, and I think what other, maybe brown rice protein. Yeah, it's a pea brown rice mix. And I just put a scoop of this in my cauliflower oats. I've really been enjoying it, and I would definitely repurchase this at some other juncture. It tastes similar to the Muscle Farm plant-based protein vanilla flavor that I get on iHerb and love so much. I'd say they taste comparable. They're quite comparable. And I just put a scoop of that and a serving of cauliflower and a serving of steel cut oats in my Cosori. The recipe is in the playlist for all of my recipes, but I'll list it down below in the description box for you guys. Somebody asked why I put cauliflower in my oatmeal. Just because I like it, and you know, it adds a little something other than just water. I don't know, zhuzhes it up. Doesn't taste like cauliflower. It just tastes like oatmeal and the vanilla protein powder, so tasty. And of course, I've got my Totoro and my beauty dust. Speaking of which, I think I'm gonna have to reorder some beauty dust soon. Note to self. Well, hey guys, what's up? So I hope your week is going well. We just had a torrential downpour, which is common this time of year. One of those tropical dumpings of rain that lasts for, 10 or 15 minutes. Always seems to occur right when you're about to exit the building, or exit with, a full armload of papers and no umbrella. Anyways, despite that and the abundance of gray clouds, UV index 10, folks, 10. Do not be misled by cloud coverage. It will mislead you every time. Anyways, SPF wise, this morning I base layered with HL Hada Labo's UV white SPF that I'm currently using. I am really enjoying it. That bad boy is uber moisturizing. You don't need any other moisturizer with that thing. It's very moisturizing. Came on top, as I have been doing for the past few days, with that Color Science tinted SPF. Really liking the way that goes on BT Dubs. As far as a universal tint, I ran out of the 3-in-1 eye, which is basically a tinted, I call it the tinted touch-up sunscreen. I really like that one a lot too, and I think I'm going to repurchase that one actually. I really like it, but anyways, right now it's the end of the day and I'm headed out to do a few little errands. I am on my way to El Banco porque my cheque from Ebates came. Do you guys, if you are not doing Ebates and you buy anything online, contact lens, I buy my contact lenses on Walgreens, and I got like 10% cash back off of a contact lens order that I made a while back. And the check comes, I don't know, every 3 months, and I get, I don't know, you get, depending on how much you shop online, I typically get somewhere around $30 to $50 back, which is fun. To me, it's like, oh boy, free groceries this week. It really adds up. It's basically free money. So if you do not shop, if you shop online and you are not using Ebates, you are basically losing free money. And so I highly recommend it. Get the browser extension. I have a link down below for Ebates. Highly recommend it. But anyways, I'm here at El Banco to deposit el cheque de Ebates. Ebates. That was a little Spanglish. Hybrid of Spanish and English there. Yep. Have you guys ever seen that movie with Adam Sandler? What one Spanglish word is El Hoover. made it into the bank. This bank is hard to navigate, but I made it in. Well, I made it out of the bank parking lot unscathed, and now I'm headed to the P.O. box, and we're getting another tropical dumping here, if you can hear pitter-pattering on the glass there. Oh, fun update for those of you who are into Instagram and Instagram stories. Yours truly finally figured out, I'm always last on the list, finally figured out how to put in my Instagram stories a swipe up on the story to access a link. So, for example, now I've been trying to post on my Instagram stories when my video goes up and put the link there. I'm not sure if it's working. It seems to be working. The analytics within Instagram tell me that people are clicking on it. So I know many of you watch me like from your phones, at work, during your lunch break or what have you. So comment below, those of you who follow me on Instagram, if you have watched any of my videos through the swipe up thing. I never swipe up on any of those. So, but you know, it seems like another way that might be convenient for you all to get to my videos if you were on Instagram or what have you, you know. So it's on there now. But yeah, there are quite a few of you on my Instagram these days, so welcome over there. I try and be active on there, but you all know YouTube is my passion. But yeah, that's what's going on. What else? Last night, I've really been, Cosori is winning. I mean, I have to say, I really only eat things that the Cosori makes me. You know, in addition to my cauliflower oats, which you guys saw this morning. Last night I cooked some of these. They're called Rancho Gordo is the name of the bean proprietor, the bean maker. I think it comes out of San Francisco. They are so beautiful too. I can't get over how gorgeous they are. I think I'm going to make the exact same thing tonight, and I will share with you all how I do it. So stay tuned for that. Oh, you bobbled down there. We went over a pothole. You're getting the authentic Houston road experience here. See, if I ever find a car mount that doesn't flop off, then you all will never know what it's like to truly drive in Houston, on Houston streets. They're pretty cobblestone reminiscent of cobblestone. So we're keeping it authentic for now. I still have yet to find a mount that will fit here in the Mazda. But anyways, time to go see my friend at the U.S. Postal Service. I have the nicest postal employees that work here and that come to my home and deliver my mail. Very, very, very diligent, conscientious, professional, and kind people. Can't say enough good things about my postal workers. But anyways, that is what is going on. Before I do that, because boy, I hit lucky. The rain just stopped as I'm about to go in. I'm gonna apply a little sunscreen here. I put some sunscreen on, I don't know, maybe about an hour ago, but just because you never know what could happen. I'm gonna put on some of this Altruist that I reviewed for you guys earlier this week. This, you all, I mean, if you're in the UK, to me this is so far winning the UK sunscreen game. It just applies really well. This is the SPF 51. As I said in that video, there is a 50 and a 30. And these go on so well. Of all the European sunscreens, the Altruists are the best because they're not oily. It's a very strange looking character over there. Let's stay in the car for a sec. Friends, keep me safe. Yeah, and I've got this is my Eclipse UV shirt, UPF 50 shirt and my sleeves. I should do a video for you all on UPF 50 clothing at some point. I know you all asked me that for a fair amount, but yeah. And I've got SPF 50 on my face. Goes on really well, right? Guys, check out the custom sunscreen and subscribe artwork I got in my P.O. box on this postcard. How gorgeous is that? Thank you so much. A viewer sent this to me. I really love this. This is going on my bulletin board for sure. You guys are so talented. One viewer can write backwards. That viewer commented, not only can they write backwards, by the way, that postcard that I got a few weeks ago, not only can they write backwards with one hand, but apparently they can write frontward with the other hand at the same time. That is exercising the left and the right brain to the nth degree. I am totally, when I read that, I was just blown away. But thank you so much. This is beautiful. All right, so it is evening time. I'm about to head to the gym, but I'm going to share with you guys what I'm going to be having for dinner tonight in my Cosori yet again. Like I said, I don't eat anything that does not come out of that Cosori. So what is Cosori going to make for me tonight? I'm going to make a soup. These are the beans that I was talking about earlier, FYI. They are, I think they're called Eye of the Goat beans, I want to say. I'm not entirely sure. I will find them on the internet, though, and list it down below for you all. This is what they look like dry. They come from this brand Rancho Gordo. They're really pretty, right? And then I have already cooked these in advance in my Cosori. All I did was take 1/4 cup of the beans, rinse them off, and put them into the Cosori in 1 cup of water. And then I cooked them on the bean setting for 11 minutes. And then they're basically done. They don't plump up a whole lot, but they're really, really good. And you honestly, they're so good, you can eat them just like candy, right here as they are, just as they are, no seasoning, no salt, no nothing. But I'm gonna throw them into the soup tonight for dinner. So what I am gonna do, this is kind of a variation of a theme of what I eat pretty much most nights. You've seen some versions of a variation of this in other recipe videos, but tonight the Cosori is gonna make me a Napa cabbage soup with the beans. So I have here 1 large carrot, half of 1 large carrot that I've just sliced into coins, a generous knob of ginger that I have chopped up here, and then this is 1/4 of a yellow onion that I've just sliced. I'm gonna put all of this into that along with a cup of water. And this is the only spice I'm going to use, is a little turmeric. I'm going to do about a tablespoon, maybe 3/4 of a tablespoon or so, 2 teaspoons. Rough, just eyeballing it. And that's really just to kind of add a subtle little kick. And I just like the color that it gives everything, TBH. Turmeric just makes everything look cool. So I put a little turmeric in there. And then I cook it on soup setting, and it cooks up really quickly, like in, I don't know, 15 minutes. However, once it's done, I take the lid off and I add some Napa cabbage that I have here. I buy this at Kroger, and I've just sliced it up, and I store it in this Pyrex bowl here in the Frigidaire. I just add a couple of handfuls of this back into the bowl, put the lid on, and then that way it doesn't get soggy. The cabbage doesn't get soggy. So if you put it in the beginning, the cabbage would get overcooked. So I put it in later and just let it cook. So I'll show you that when I get to that step later tonight. But anyways. Oh, and FYI, these are the shelled hemp seeds. I get these at Kroger in the bulk bin. It kind of looks like I'm getting down to where I might need to purchase some more. But I like to sprinkle these on top at the end. That's what you saw in my oatmeal this morning. These just kind of add a little bit of a, I don't know, nutty sprinkle. Nutty sprinkle. Yeah, so I'm gonna, when the soup is done and I get ready to eat, I'll sprinkle these on top. But I have in here, just as I verbalized, the 1 cup of water, the yellow onion, the ginger, the carrots, the beans, and some turmeric. So I've just plugged in Cosori, and I'm gonna put the lid on. Now I'm actually gonna go to the gym and do all this later tonight, but I'll just talk you through how I cook it. I put it on the soup setting for, let's see, I do adjust, soup setting, 15 minutes, and you have a wonderful, wonderful soup. And then I will go ahead and show you when the soup is done, how I add in the cabbage. Yeah, and you really don't even, I swear you really don't even need the turmeric in there. I just like the color that it adds. This soup, the way it comes out is so good. You may ask, like, how does that have any flavor? Oh, on the contrary, it is so flavorful with very minimal ingredients. So one of the things I've noticed about cooking with the Cosori is that it's like instant, savory, wonderful, wonderful vegetable broths. Just by doing something like this. Very, very easy for one person. You know, this is a very, very quick weeknight meal, obviously. Super easy, very, very flavorful, and you don't even need store-bought broth. There's really, I never buy vegetable broth anymore because the Cosori just does it so much better. But anyways, I'm gonna head to the gym, but the next few clips I'll show you how this goes onward and upward. So fingers crossed. All right, so I just took the lid off and added the Napa cabbage. And for the last little step here, really quickly, I'm just going to put the lid back on. Of course, turn the valve down. And I'm going to hit stop cancel so that it stops thinking it's keeping it warm. And I'm gonna go to soup, and then I'm gonna lower the cook time to 1 minute. So cook time, 1 minute. All right, so it will come to pressure, and then I'll let it cook for 1 minute, and then I will quick release the steam so that the cabbage doesn't get too soggy. But I find that doing it on the soup setting for just 1 minute is perfect for cooking the cabbage. Well, hey guys, I just finished up at the gym and got out of the shower. Good workout. Hopefully my Cosori recipe came out looking okay for you guys. Obviously you've already seen it at this point, so you know better than I do, but I can't imagine that I'm not gonna enjoy it. Everything I've ever made in that thing I've absolutely loved. It feeds me every day. It's my little live-in chef, if you will. Coming back to the sunscreen that I was talking about earlier and reviewed for you all and showed you, the Altruist, I am so in love with this sunscreen as far as the vehicle and the protection it affords. They have just done such a phenomenal job with this. And so I'm hopeful that for those of you in Europe, this is widely available. Obviously, I'm aware that it is available in the UK, but I'm not sure about other countries in Europe. So comment below if you've seen this, and like if it's in your local pharmacy, because I really think this is one that is worth a try. I mean, they really nailed it on the vehicle. It's not oily whatsoever. It's not greasy. Very, very easy to apply. The only people who I would be interested in feedback from as far as their experience with it are those individuals with rosacea, how it goes, because it is a chemical sunscreen. But I know in Europe that many of you don't have exclusively mineral sunscreens, so I'm always wondering what people in Europe with rosacea like, how you tolerate your chemical sunscreens. I know for rosacea people here in the United States, our chemical sunscreens tend to be very irritating to a lot of rosacea patients. So I'm curious. I have it in my brain that this would be very rosacea friendly because it is so gentle, non-stinging. Likewise, I'd love to know, some of the other sunscreens that I believe are widely available in Europe that I've reviewed. The Aven, very high protection. I used, this is an empty from my last empties video, but this one I really enjoyed. It is a little, it's a little on the shiny side. This is one, I really enjoyed it, but this is one where if I wore it currently with the humidity, I would definitely be gravitating towards using my mineral powder just to kind of mask that shine. But it is a very, very good sunscreen, fragrance-free, wonderful, wonderful filters. So this one I enjoyed a lot, and I've reviewed others. This La Roche-Posay one has some really phenomenal filters in it. Mexeril, which L'Oreal owns, so I wish we had more Mexeril containing sunscreens here in the United States. It's a phenomenal addition to sunscreens. Really can help stabilize avobenzone, and you know, give good UVA protection. UVA is really, you know, ultraviolet light, for people who aren't, you know, aware, is very difficult on the part of the individual to detect, to appreciate. The endpoint, the biologic endpoint for most people as far as ultraviolet light exposure is getting a sunburn. And for many of you, you probably don't burn, or you maybe sometimes burn or rarely burn. So you go through life with, you know, very more cavalier, I think, with a higher tendency, I will say, to be a little more cavalier with UV exposure, versus people who are, you know, incredibly sensitive to burning. They tend to be a little bit more sun conscious and UV conscious. I think, you know, it's easy to get it confused that visible light, the light that we see, like what actually illuminates our world, the colors that we see, the brightness, that people perceive as that's visible light. They perceive that as ultraviolet light, like, oh, it's cloudy out, oh, it's gray, oh, it's not summer, you know, oh, I'm not outside, you know. They only equate certain situations in life with UV exposure, but the reality is it is ongoing on a daily basis. Cloud coverage does not protect you. Gray days don't protect you. So that's why I chit-chat about the UV Index app, just to kind of heighten your awareness a little bit about the fact that UV exposure is ongoing and something you need to be aware of. You know, not only from a cosmetic point of view, it definitely ages the skin, but, you know, from a skin cancer prevention perspective, I think in protecting the health of your skin, I mean, it is paramount. If you do anything for your skin, I mean, if you pursue any kind of skin intervention, I mean, you know, all of these cosmetic things that people ask me about, if you are not protecting your skin from ultraviolet light, you're completely wasting your time. But yeah, you know, I like to keep the sunscreens kind of as global as I can. Obviously, the majority of my viewers come from the US, and then another big chunk of you come from specifically the UK and in Europe as well, different countries in Europe as well. So you know, I want to keep it as global as possible, going over Korean sunscreens, Japanese sunscreens, Australian. So comment below. I know many of you have commented about a sunscreen that I'm interested in trying out called Errands. I hope I'm saying that correct. So comment below on if that's a good one, something that you guys like and would like me to try out. So I'm always I appreciate your recommendations and questions about different brands that I probably don't encounter ever if it weren't for you all, especially these international brands. It's just not something I encounter on a daily basis. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video today. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.